Hidden away in the west of Wigan lies a place where nature has reclaimed industry. Today, Orrell Water Park is peaceful, green, and full of wildlife. But beneath these calm waters is a fascinating story of mills, reservoirs, and industrial transformation. What was once part of Wigan's hard-working industrial landscape has become one of the town's most relaxing outdoor spaces. In this video, we're exploring the history, wildlife, fishing culture, and natural beauty of Orrell Water Park. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're in Orrell, Wigan, exploring Orrell Water Park. Now, at first glance, this just looks like a peaceful country park with lakes, woodland and wildlife. But this place actually began life during the Industrial Revolution as a chain of reservoirs supplying water to local industry. So in this video, we're going to explore the lakes, learn about the industrial history, look at the wildlife that now calls this place home, and see why Orrell Water Park has become such a popular spot with local people. The story of Orrell Water Park begins during the 19th century when Wigan was booming with industry. Factories, mills, collieries and railways dominated the landscape, and huge amounts of water were needed to keep industry running. The reservoirs here were originally constructed as stone-lined industrial water storage lakes. Their purpose was practical rather than recreational, supplying water to nearby industries including the May Mills complex. The lakes formed part of the wider industrial network connected to the River Douglas catchment and Smithy Brook. Back then, this area would have looked completely different. Instead of nature trails and birdlife, there would have been smoke, machinery, workers, and the constant sounds of industry. It's hard to imagine now, surrounded by birdsong and woodland, that this area once played an important role in Wigan's industrial economy. These lakes weren't built for beauty. They were built because industry needed water, and lots of it. It's just another reminder of how deeply connected Wigan's landscape is to its industrial past. As industry across the north began to decline during the 20th century, many industrial reservoirs and former mill sites were abandoned. Orrell's reservoirs gradually fell out of use and became neglected remnants of a changing era. Like many post-industrial landscapes, the future of this site was uncertain. But instead of disappearing completely, the area would soon be transformed into something entirely different. In the early 1980s, Wigan Council launched a major landscaping project to completely reshape the old reservoirs. The deep industrial water bodies were redesigned into shallower lakes to improve safety, reduce flood risks, and create natural habitats for wildlife. This transformation turned a disused industrial site into a public nature reserve and coarse fishery. It became a place not just for nature, but for the local community too, offering somewhere to walk, fish, relax and escape from the busy world beyond the trees. One thing I really love about Orrell Water Park is how accessible it feels. You'll see families here, dog walkers, anglers, joggers. And to think this was once purely industrial, it's amazing to see how much it's been transformed into something for the community. The park covers around 8 hectares and centres around 2 connected lakes. These waters are now managed as a coarse fishery, supporting species including carp, bream and roach. Fishing remains one of the park's most popular activities, with anglers regularly lining the banks throughout the year. The calmer, shallower waters created during the 1980s redevelopment also helped encourage biodiversity to thrive. You can really see how important fishing is here. Places like this become part of people's routines. In fact, some anglers have probably been coming here for decades, and it's just another example of how former industrial sites can develop a new identity over time. One of the most impressive parts of Orrell Water Park today is the biodiversity. The mature woodland, reed beds and lakes create a rich habitat for wildlife. Over 100 species of birds have been recorded here, making it an important local site for birdwatching. Dragonflies and damselflies skim across the water during warmer months, while butterflies thrive in the surrounding greenery. Nature has completely reclaimed what was once an industrial environment. I find places like this fascinating because nature doesn't just survive here, it completely takes over. And if you never knew the history, you would never guess that these lakes were once industrial reservoirs connected to mills and industry. The walking trails around Orrell Water Park make it especially popular with local residents. The circular routes are relatively easy, peaceful and accessible, offering a quiet escape just a short distance from urban Wigan. And thanks to Orrell railway station being nearby, the park is surprisingly easy to reach without a car.
Godspeed, we travel with hope in our minds. Loose rain, the sky and the wind are only guide. Wild sea, we are all strangers to this land. And no map, no promise but the light ahead. Rolling into the great unknown. Every step leads away from home.
There's something really calming about this place. You've got water, trees, wildlife, and while you're close to roads and housing, it's surprisingly peaceful. You know, sometimes the best places aren't the big tourist attractions. They're the peaceful country parks that locals enjoy every day. Wigan is full of places where industrial history and nature exist side by side. Orrell Water Park tells the story of how landscapes can evolve. What began as a functional industrial infrastructure has become somewhere people now visit for relaxation, wildlife and recreation. It's proof that even heavily industrialised areas can be transformed into spaces that benefit both nature and the community. So that was Orrell Water Park, a place with deep industrial roots that's been completely reinvented into a peaceful nature reserve and community space. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, in the description I will put the 10% discount code for DHANSA. And until next week, take care.